Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of the Diary of a Lawyer. And today, I just want to briefly focus on the West African giant or the African giant, Nigeria. As you know, in last few weeks or so, there were elections which remained contested, uh, and I think some of the issues still have court proceedings. However, a new president was sworn in, whose name is President Bola Tinubu, and he appears to just recently caught a sort of positive wind in spite of all the politics by signing two new laws in Nigeria. One is the Energy Act, and the other one is the Student Loan Act. So I want to focus first just quickly on the Student Loan Act. So the President Bola Tinubu on 12th June signed into law the Access to Higher Education Bill, popularly called the Student Loan Bill. And the bill was sponsored by the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Chief of Staff to the President, who is called Femi Bajabiamila, and was passed by the legislative in May 2023. Of course, the purpose of the bill itself is explanatory, but in its title, if I quote, it says, "This is a bill for an act to provide for easy access to higher education for Nigerians through an interest-free loan from the Nigerian Education Bank established in this act to provide education for Nigerians and other purposes connected thereto." End of quote. And there's some of the highlights or the key points about the new law are that the applicant income or family income shall be less than a Nigerian $500,000 per annum. That applicants must apply to the chairman of the bank and through the student affairs office of the various institutions, University College of Education, Polytechnic, etc., which are established by the federal government or any state government. Applicants must provide two guarantors who must be a civil servant with at least 12 years experience, or a lawyer with at least 10 years post-call experience, or a judicial call, or a justice of peace. A student could be disqualified if they or their parents have defaulted in a loan in the past, or the student have been convicted of drug-related offenses or any felony involving dishonest or fraud, or if they have been found guilty of exam malpractice by any school authority. It goes on to list other criteria such as the processing and disbursement of the loan to be made within 30 days. The loan shall be only for the payment of tuition and shall be interest-free, which is a major departure from the loan schemes offered generally in other countries in the West, where people pay the interest on the loans well into their late ages. The repayment of the loan shall start 2 years after the completion of the applicant's what it terms as NYCSC program. It's not clear what that means, but I'm assuming start after someone gains employment. They will deduct 10% of the salary at source by an employer. It goes on to set out the terms of defaulters and fines and punishment for defaulters are those who try to cheat the system by providing falsified data in their repayment documents, which is important because you don't want to criminalize what is a civil matter in many jurisdictions. And the act establishes the Nigerian Education Bank that will supervise the process, administer, and monitor these loans. And one of the major last observations is that the bank shall have a governing board that will be chaired by a professor who is a retired vice chancellor of any Nigerian university. And according to media reports, according to the bill, the board will include representatives from academic staff, a union of universities, vice chancellors, Auditor General Federation, Minister of Finance, and the chairman of the Nigerian Universities Commission, among others. Now, that is a welcome step, irrespective of one politics, and I'm not an expert on Nigerian politics, and I have take no sides whatsoever. And I know the elections were disputed, and some of those disputes could potentially remain. But just focusing on this policy is certainly one of the first few on the continent, and it will no doubt assist many, many, many talented individuals who, but for the access to finances and resources, struggle to finish their education, or some have to find and ways and means to seek their education somewhere else. So it's not the perfect solution, but it's definitely a welcome step by the new administration. We shall watch development and see how the momentum goes on, and hopefully that is a step that will also be repeated in other countries on the continent. And so there we shall leave it on this episode of The Diary of a Lawyer, and we shall speak again. Thank you. Bye.